We are coming up on 7:59 on this wet Thursday morning. We start with a tragic update to an early morning crash on 99W north of Lafayette. We've just confirmed with Oregon State Police that one car was involved. It left the road, it struck a tree, and that crash unfortunately killed both occupants of that vehicle. The traffic impact right now is that 99W remains closed just north of Lafayette. ODOT does have a detour set up around that. We are working to get more details on that. Meanwhile, your freeway drive this morning, it's just a soaker. It's just an absolute slogfest out there in the rain, and it's only obviously going to get thicker with the rain. Rod, right now the trip in from Hillsborough is up to 42 minutes at last check.
All right, Chris, thank you for that. It is a steady rain day. We have a flood watch in effect today. That goes until Saturday for rising river levels, but the steady rain will be with us all day today. And then at some point after midnight tonight, the rain will break up, and tomorrow's a scattered shower day. We do have big-time concerns as you look at live radar there of heavy rain rates leading to high water spots. Temperature out the door this morning, 42.
From power lines falling on buses, trapping a driver and a student inside, to this scene in Estacada where a live power line sparked a fire.
My son said he had to use the flashlight on his iPhone to read in class.
When I was in one of the areas that went pitch black, so it was really scary for a couple of minutes before the emergency lights turned on.
Some kids attending school in the dark before being released early as power outages ripple through Oregon and Washington. Folks all across our area dealing with the aftermath of this week's strong winds as we expect yet another atmospheric river through the area. KGW Impact Alert Day starts now. Good morning and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Again, today is a weather impact alert day here at KGW. So we have team coverage for you this morning. Corey Johnson, she's covering the snow for us up on Mount Hood. She's live at Government Camp. Thomas Schultz, I'm going to say Thomas drew the short straw because no snow for Thomas. He's getting rained on this morning. He's going to bring us the latest from Wasco County's state of emergency. Rod Hill, you're the main man, though, so we turn to you first for a look at today's forecast.
Yeah, you know, if you've watched me for a long time, I hope you've noticed that I am really cautious when it comes to making a big deal out of something. I think today is one of those days that you will thank me if you just get out and get the things done that you have to get done and then get back home. The problem today is going to be hours of nonstop rain. Rain rates expected to become heavier into the afternoon. That's going to increase the likelihood that we have high water spots on roadways. That's going to lead to just increasing problems and increase the possibility of you getting stuck somewhere in a long backup. So again, I would just get things done and get back home. Right now, we haven't had any wind yet to speak of. It's just been the rain, but we're already approaching a half of an inch of rain in some spots since it started this morning. Temperatures in the 40s. There's 44 in Salem. There's the waterlogged downtown Portland with 42 degrees. There is a warm front coming in around noon today. This afternoon, temperatures will eventually get up into the 50s, and we could be mid to upper 50s going into this evening. Now, 2 inches of rain today alone. It ends or breaks up overnight tonight. Real quick, wind advisory up. We expect a period of gusty winds south to 15 to 30. Maybe a spike wind moment later today of 40 to 45. Here's Chris.
Okay, Ron, thanks for that. We've got a tragic update to that traffic alert that we've been following in Yamhill County early this morning. OSP now confirming that a single car left the road on Highway 99W and struck a tree. OSP has confirmed that both occupants of that car have died. And right now, OSP and ODOT have the road closed, 99W that is. There's a local detour set up around this to get around that closure, but obviously it could be a few more hours. We are obviously also working to get more details on that crash situation, but just a terrible situation there. Back to the freeway drive. It is wet and slow and going to get slower here. We're up to now almost 40 minutes to get you in from Hillsborough, 30 plus minutes from Troutdale. Your drive across the Columbia, slow and steady on I-5. And of course, we're still dealing with the mess from yesterday in the cleanup. Hillsborough Highway 219 is closed on the Yamhill, Washington County line near Chehalem Mountain because of downed trees and power lines. Also in Yamhill County, 99W closed near Amity, and Highway 221 closed just south of the Dayton area because of, again, downed trees and power line cleanup.
Chris, we're going to get back to an area that you've been talking about the last couple of days in Clackamas County. A section of Highway 213 still shut down. This is south of Oregon City by Clackamas Community College, and it's shut down there because of power lines and trees that fell across the road. Now, a second, longer stretch of Highway 213 near the Fisher's Corner area did reopen earlier this morning.
Over in West Linn, though, trees and live power lines came down on a school bus yesterday morning, trapping a driver and a student inside. They were both able to get out safely after Tualatin Valley Fire Crew and rescues worked with PGE to cut the power.
We also covered this trouble spot in Clackamas County. A live power line sparked a fire in Estacada yesterday. With all the down lines in the area, police and fire officials are reminding everyone to not try and put out a power line fire by yourself. They say, in fact, you should not go anywhere near a down line. You should always assume that a down line is live. Stay in your house, stay in your car, just immediately call 911.
Your time now is 8:04. We are taking a live look at the outage maps right now. Yesterday, we saw more than 200,000 people across Oregon and Southwest Washington without power. This morning, it is a problem, but a little better. Right now, PGE is reporting nearly 23,000 customers without power. Pacific Power also reporting just over 1,300 customers in Oregon without power. And then in Clark County, Clark Public Utility reporting about 2,200 customers in the dark this morning.
Let's get over to Clark County right now for more information. Utility companies there continuing to work on power lines that were knocked down and knocked out by fallen trees and tree branches. So at one point yesterday, reports had as many as 98,000 customers in Clark County without power. Clark Public Utility says it relies on its customers to report power outages so that the company can pinpoint those problem spots as quickly as possible.
To date, I have not experienced an atmospheric river this large or seen outages to quite this level at one time.
Just to reiterate, all local power companies encourage customers to report down power lines as soon as you see them. And if you do lose power, PGE suggests that you, number one, check to see if your neighbor's power is out as well, just to make sure it's not a you issue. Maybe it's a bigger neighborhood issue. And before you call your utility company, they say you should also check to see if you received any emails or texts that give any info on the outage. PGE customers can report outages online at portlandgeneral.com. You can also call them. That number we have up there on your screen right now is 503-464-7777.
Meantime, in Camas, a storm plagued local businesses there. That includes Grains of Wrath. Part of their outdoor seating area was shredded, forcing them to close until further notice, leaving some customers to adjust their plans.
We were going to eat here, but now we're going to find something else, hopefully. The power is hit and miss throughout the town. Some things are open and right next door, some things are closed.
One of the biggest examples of the damage we saw from yesterday's weather happened in the Dalles, where strong winds tore off a large chunk of the roof at a medical facility.
Now, no one was hurt, but Wasco County commissioners have declared a state of emergency. So Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joined us now. Thomas, why was a state of emergency declared?
Yeah, guys, that went into effect due to road closures and trees down, along with the damage at this medical facility, which serves thousands of people in Wasco County. And guys, just to reiterate and remember here, there's not a lot of medical options over in the gorge. Water's Edge Medical Facility has around 150 to 175 patients every day. Though for now it's closed, and it's unclear when it will reopen as leaders look to find an alternative location to see some of those patients after Wednesday morning storm whipped through the building, leaving the roof in shambles and the interior in bad shape too.
We didn't truly understand the total estimate of damage until we actually walked through the building later in the day and realized the severe damage both structurally and to the roof.
Thompson said there were 3 patients and 1 worker inside when they evacuated. Fortunately, everybody was able to get out safely before fire crews even arrived on scene. And once again, to reiterate, Wasco County commissioners have declared a state of emergency, not only because of the wind that led to damage at this medical facility, but also because of road closures and trees down countywide. Drew, China.
Thomas Schultz, we'll keep your shot up for just a moment here. You don't have to say anything, but we can actually hear the rain bouncing off your rain jacket. There it is, Thomas Schultz. He's become the face of our rain coverage this morning. Thank you, Thomas. Let's talk about our snow coverage this morning. We start this in Central Oregon. Mount Bachelor hit with several inches of fresh snow this week. This is a look at the mountain after the overnight snow that fell there Tuesday into Wednesday. Now, the ski resort says it's getting slopes ready for the start of the ski season. They say snowmaking is also underway near the Pine Martin Lift. But the bottom line here is that opening day for Bachelor still hasn't been announced yet.
There is some good news at Timberline. 6 inches of snow have fallen since yesterday, though it's still not enough to get the slopes open for the season. Ideally, Timberline and other ski spots up on Mount Hood would have opened up last month. And here we are, though,
1 week from Christmas, and we're still waiting for that to happen.
So it's been a disappointing start to the season that's not only cost skiers and snowboarders excitement, but businesses their profit. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson joins us live at Government Camp on Mount Hood with the latest on what we're seeing there. Corey.
Good morning, China Drew. Well, the snow's definitely coming down in measurable fashion here at Government Camp. We're at the rest area in particular, alongside the roadway where snow plows and snow trucks have been going by very frequently, working to clear the roadways because it is coming down significantly. We've seen multiple cars take it easy along this stretch. A few truck drivers also pulling over. It's not clear that they're exactly stalled, but they're definitely taking their time along this stretch. Now, here at 4,000 feet of elevation, we're measuring snow levels at about 4 inches. It's coming down pretty good currently. And we talked to one truck driver who even told us he was opting to turn around rather than continue on the mountain pass. And I checked in with traffic anchor Chris McGinnis, and he tells me roughly 6,600 drivers travel along this area daily. So you definitely want to take your time as you make your way through this area, take it safe, and go slow. And another issue right now is the power that people are dealing with. I talked to some residents who tell me that they've been without power since late last night. Here at the rest area, power is also out. The restrooms also closed, which that is just not really a sight that's ever seen. And so this is definitely something to note as well. So 6 inches are expected at Government Camp by noon. And while it's been a rough way of going for drivers this morning, the snow, it's a welcome sight for skiers overall. This has been a slow start to the ski season, which typically opens on November 16th. So we're over a month past that. The slow season is also impacting business as well. And here at the Mountain Pass, we caught up with 2 residents who say this morning has been difficult with them, or for them rather, because they've gone so many hours without power.
We woke up and no lights anymore. And Charlie's has light, but all the Government Camp in general, no.
And those people we just heard from, they were also saying how their phones are now dead as well because they didn't have charge to plug them in due to the power being out. They were working to find the information on when their next bus was coming. So they were actually walking out in the snow. So it's difficult conditions for a few residents living here at Government Camp, which is expected to get 6 inches of snow by noon, and then it's going to turn to rain. Back to you.
All right, Corey Johnson live for us all morning long in Government Camp.
All right, headed over to Rod Hill. One thing that we've been hearing a lot about is the atmospheric river. Am I saying that correctly? Any snow chances?
Where? Snow chances where? Like here in the valley you talking
North
about?
Pole.
No. Mount Hood area.
Mount Hood area. You meant, I think specifically the ski resorts. What are the chances of them benefiting from this ban?
Well, here's the problem with today. So Timberline's up to 8, by the way. I think Timberline will get over a foot before it changes to rain. Government Camp is right there at about 6 inches, according to the reporting of Corey Johnson up there. They're going to maybe have all snow through noon today. But the problem is then there's going to be at least 8, 10, 12 hours of rain developed later today on top of all that. So that's going to be a mess. Now, starting tomorrow, though, snow level is 3,000 feet. And give or take, the snow level looks to settle about 3,000 feet. That's below the passes all the way into the mid part of next week. No big storms through that period, but a little here and a little there is what we're looking at. All right, here's a look at today's forecast. Big concern of the amount of rain and the intensity of it. This rain will not break up at all until after midnight tonight. And everything points to hours 6+ of moderate to heavy rain rates setting up this afternoon into this evening. That's going to produce big time high water spots. Could be an absolute nightmare of a commute going home because there could be road closures, intersections blocked from high water. So again, one of the best messages I can give you today is to get out, get your things done, and get back home so you don't get caught in a mess. Here is that atmospheric river. It's a channel of moisture coming into us. This one's intense, but it's short-lived, only about 24 hours. Started last night. Again, it'll break up after midnight tonight. Here's the snow this morning in blue or purple up on Mount Hood. But this afternoon, that's all rain, and the bright colors represent the heavy rain rates that we're talking about going all the way into this evening. There's the Oregon Zoo camera. It's 40 degrees outside. Going to be tough to warm up this morning because, of course, the rain's falling. We're in the low 40s generally. Once a warm front comes in about noon today, Then we'll see a bump in temperatures this afternoon and eventually get up into the 50s. The highs of upper 50s could be reached this evening. Again, steady heavy rain in the valley, high water spots likely to develop. There's a wind advisory today too. I'm not sure if we have a wind issue, but we will become at least noticeably blustery. South winds 15 to 30. These are the afternoon temperatures at 3 o'clock, showing the 50s here on the west side. It could have some winds spike at some point today of about 40 to 45. Tomorrow it's just scattered showers, but the impact alert will stay because of the risk of high water spots continuing to be an issue. Here is Chris McGinnis.
Well, speaking of high water, there you go. Using caution is what ODOT is recommending out there on the roads, right? I mean, we've got standing water. There was a report, actually, some standing water here at the I-5 North exit at Lombard just a little bit ago. But, I mean, just a slog of a morning commute. And to Rod's point, more water on the roads for the afternoon drive is just going to mean things are going to get slower and slower. So that's the situation right now. 40 minutes gets you in from Hillsborough, 35 from Troutdale. And the drive across the Columbia River getting a little slow on 205, but I-5, of course, 30 minutes to get you in from Main Street. Let's take you live up to the mountain once again. This is the shot from Eric Patterson and Corey Johnson out of Government Camp. And you can see that they've got the sign there off in the distance saying chains and traction tires required. Now, specifically Oregon, we have snow zones up in the higher terrain where you are required to either have snow tires or chains on. And here's the deal. While that may seem obvious, if you wind up getting in a situation where you're stuck or if you cause a wreck and the authorities show up, there's a good chance you're going to get cited. So take these seriously. If you're not equipped to go up there, best to just not do it, at least not this go around. Guys, back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. Coming up after the break, we're going to check in on people who live by the White River, not too far from Seattle, after a levee break earlier this week forced hundreds of homes there to evacuate. We're going to have a closer look at the reinforcements that were brought in to help out. Again, when Sunrise continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Some evacuation orders have been lifted for parts of Pacific Washington south of Seattle after floodwaters receded in parts of the city.
A levee broke on the White River earlier this week, causing a lot of issues there. So people in more than 200 homes had to evacuate. Again, water has started to recede from streets, but crews are still working to install temporary sandbag barriers to block the overflow. The National Guard was also called in to help.
My kids are asking Mom, why is the Army outside? What can you tell them? They're here to help.
That's a fair question from the kiddos, right? What's the Army doing here? Well, King County is still warning people there in the city of Pacific to stay on top of the latest conditions because they say more evacuation orders could be on the way.
All right, your time now is 8:18. So flooding was definitely a factor in this latest atmospheric river.
Yeah.
But as we have one now, you're saying it's not as long, but it's short and powerful.
Correct. And remember, last week's atmospheric river hit harder up towards Seattle. This one's going to hit harder here in Oregon. And before I forget to tell you, Thomas Schultz has been reporting for us on the wind damage out in Wasco County. The official peak wind gusts at the airport in the Dalles, and this happened yesterday morning in the 5-6 o'clock hour, was 66 miles per hour. And you folks out in the East Gorge are under a wind advisory, expecting south to west winds later today into this evening. That could be at least gusting back up to about 50. A lot of different weather watches and warnings around our area. Of course, I think at the heart of it all here in Portland is just the rain. So far since it started overnight, we're up to 39 100ths in Portland. I've got to believe that Aurora rain gauge is not working. It showed 0 for you folks. 43 100ths in Salem. The rain amounts so far here on the west side are really uniform. 34 Kelso, 31 100ths up in Astoria. Heaviest rain will come this afternoon and into this evening. These are the rivers currently projected to be above flood stage, with crests generally speaking overnight tonight and Friday morning. Clackamas, Sandy Pudding, South Yamhill, Lacaimute, Siletz, Wilson, Johnson Creek, and Hood River going into, of course, Hood River. Some of these rivers projected to be about 3 to 4 feet above flood stage. Now, understand there could be rivers added to this list, but it definitely gives you a scope that the Weather Service is expecting a lot of our rivers to bounce up. And while I'm not positive, I think I am correct when I say we're going to have a larger number of rivers going above flood stage this time than last week. We already have levels running fairly high, and the rain rates this time around are going to be more intense over a short period of time. We have wind advisories and warnings out today, too. The North Coast gusting to 55, wind warning for the Central Coast. That's you folks in Depot Bay, Lincoln City, Newport, gusting 60 to 70 later today. Valley under wind advisory. I'm not sure if this pans out or not, but we will have blustery winds 15 to 30, and maybe we get a spot where the winds pop to 40 or 45. Again, that wind threat mainly setting up into the afternoon and evening hours. No wind out there to speak of as of right now. Here's the atmospheric river fetch, and just notice how it just kind of channels into us. Futurecast shows the absolute steady rain. The snow this morning, the blue, turns to rain this afternoon up over the Cascades. Here's 4 o'clock this afternoon. By this time, I think we are absolutely going to have reports of some low intersections flooded out, and maybe some lane closures from high water spots. It's really going to become an increasing mess out there, and that continues this evening. There's the break. You wake up tomorrow morning, we're just into a scattered shower pattern. Rain amounts about 2 inches in Portland. Latest projections are about 2.5 inches down in Corvallis. Temperatures out the door, we're chilly, 42 Portland, 40 Kelso, 44 Salem. Warm front comes in around noon, and then we will get an afternoon bounce in the temperature department. In fact, the Cascades snowing right now at Government Camp, could be up into the 40s later today. But they've already picked up nearing 6 at Government Camp. They've already picked up 8 inches new at Timberline. So a lot of snow coming, then that slushy change to driving rains. High temperatures might not be met until this evening here in the valley, 57 in Portland. Tomorrow, scattered showers. The impact alert continues for the high water aftermath of today and tonight's rainfall. Here is Chris McGinnis.
Okay, Rod, thanks for that. Back out to Yamhill County, and a reminder, just north of Lafayette, 99W remains closed for an ongoing fatal crash investigation from early this morning. ODOT does have a local detour set up around that. Continuing across the region from Yamhill to Washington County, Highway 219 still closed from yesterday's downed trees and power lines. That closure is up on Chehalem Mountain near milepost 15, also in Yamhill County. 99W is still closed north of Amity. Highway 221 still closed south of Dayton because of downed trees, and we're still doing a lot of cleanup out there. Now we're getting rained on again. Look at the water and slow commute. This is I-5 in Tualatin. That's near the 205 interchange. It's going to be a slow slog out there this morning and likely even slower this afternoon. Right now, the trip in from Troutdale is about 35 minutes. China?
Chris, thank you. Next on Sunrise, big news from Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson, why she's choosing not to run for re-election.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Multnomah County Chair Jessica Vega-Peterson says she will not seek a second term. Vega-Peterson has served as county chair since 2022. In a statement, she said with her oldest child getting ready to graduate high school, she decided it's time to start a new chapter. She also indicated focusing heavily on strengthening the county's response to homelessness and growing the Preschool for All program during her final year in office. All right, let's talk about what's coming up in our 8:30 half hour of the Sunrise Show. We're going to go back out live to government camp. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson has been out there all morning long checking out the snowy conditions there. We'll also have more on the snow at Mount Hood. Rod Hill will join us talking about the fact that, yes, it's snowing this morning up at Timberline, but that snow will turn to rainfall. And it's really not as much as we like it to be. It's really not a good news situation for the ski resorts as we continue to wait for the long-awaited opening of the local ski season. Plus,
Very short and very real day.
yeah, lots of kiddos there yesterday in Southwest Portland being told, you got to go home. School let out early in Southwest Portland because that school lost its power. We're going to talk more about that and also have an update on school closures and delays this morning when we kick off the 8:30 half hour of the Sunrise Show in about 3.5 minutes.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW+. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW+. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Good morning, I'm Drew Carney. We're going to take you out to Wasco County for this update this morning to show you what happened when strong winds hit a medical facility in the Dalles. Strong winds tearing off chunks of the roof at that medical facility. Wasco County declaring a state of emergency because thousands of people in that area rely on the Water's Edge Medical Facility for treatment. The facility will stay closed for an unknown amount of time as health leaders work to find other sites for some patients and reschedule appointments for others. Rod, you were telling me a moment ago, 66-mile-an-hour winds are what did that damage.
Yeah, those winds reported yesterday early morning at the airport in the Dalles. And you folks under a wind advisory in Wasco County later today for the potential of south to west 50 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts. Here's the rain. The flood watch underway all the way into Saturday. The rain itself will be steady, not breaking up until we get into the overnight hours after midnight tonight. Right now we're at 42, a couple inches of rain expected. Heavy rain rates this afternoon could lead to increasing high water spots throughout the area. Temperatures eventually warming into the 50s.
Where shall we start our 8:30 half-hour sunrise? What do you say, the mountain?
We got snow.
We got snow on the mountain this morning. Timberline Lodge Skycam showing us that freshly fallen snow. So snow there, lots of rain in the valley and lots more to come. This is a weather impact alert day here at KGW.
So very busy in the road area, very busy in the weather area.
Yeah, Timberline temperature has actually gone up a couple degrees, and that is a snow level that will go up to at least 7,000 feet. They've had 8 inches new, but that's going to turn to rain. If you think about it, this much snow, rain, slush, that's just a mess to travel in. I would not get myself in that mess if you don't have to during the day today. Here's a look at the rain situation. Again, currently snow level holding down to Cascade Passes. Government Camp is right about 6 inches of new snow, but by noon, that's probably all rain today up into the area. Big story here is with the flood watch in effect today all the way into Saturday is that the rain today will not stop ever. It'll be solid all the way past midnight tonight, and we'll get into heavier and heavier rain rates leading to increasing high water issues across the area. 44 in Salem right now, 42 is the temperature in Portland. We'll be 47 at noon. Now there is a warm front triggering all this. That comes in early afternoon or noon. So we will get up into the 50s eventually, and the high temperatures, mid to upper 50s, could be reached at some point this evening. This will be a snow day, maybe an inch or two out in Baker County. Pendleton, though, much warmer, 50 degrees. Some wet snow or a mix over the blues, perhaps. 50s in rain and Bend, and then here are the 50s with the just driving rains here at the coast. Again, the flood watch is actually in effect all the way to Saturday for rising river levels. Our steady rain breaks up after midnight, so tomorrow will be scattered showers. 57 later today, 47 tomorrow. The impact alert tomorrow for the aftermath of high water spots. Saturday could be mainly dry. Sunday we get increasing rain, maybe about 1/4 of an inch coming in. Here's Chris McGinnis.
Rod, a busy traffic map behind me, so let's break down what some of these icons mean. First off, on a tragic note right now in the Lafayette area, Yamhill County, Highway 99W remains closed about 4 miles north of Lafayette for an ongoing fatal crash investigation. ODOT does have a detour set up around this, expected to be closed for some time longer. Across the county and heading north up into Washington County, Highway 219 still closed because of downed trees and power lines yesterday up on Chehalem Mountain. Remaining in Yamhill County, 221 and 99W. 99W closed near Amity. 221 closed just south of Dayton because of downed trees. And we had a couple of tree falls and down power lines on Highway 213 in Clackamas County. One closure remains right near Clackamas Community College at this time. The drive this morning, it's just a wet slog out there. The drive times are obviously going to just do nothing but go up here over the next little while. 32 minutes gets you in from Troutdale on I-84, almost 30 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. That's the I-5 South Drive this morning. China?
Thank you, Chris. All right, we're taking a live look at the outage maps now because PGE is still reporting nearly 23,000 customers without power right now. Pacific Power also reporting just over 1,500 customers without power. And in Clark County, Clark Public Utilities reporting over 2,200 customers in the dark this morning.
We also have some updates this hour to our school closures and delays list. So take a look at your screen right here. So far, we know that the Molalla River School District is closed today. So is the Vernonia School District. Over on the coast, the Lincoln County School District also closing for the day, and the Neocani School District is on a 2-hour delay. Yesterday, of course, at this time, we were talking about schools closing or delaying their starts, and some students yesterday had to leave school early.
And one of those schools is West Sylvan Middle School, which released students early after losing power there. Thomas Schultz has more from Southwest Portland.
Well, here at West Sylvan Middle School, many kids understandably thought Wednesday was a pretty weird school day after they lost power around 9 in the morning. Here's what one student had to tell us.
Most of the teachers just let us play games. One of my teachers read us a chapter from a book. Lunch we had to have either A, out outside in the wet or be in the pitch black lunchroom. So that was a little weird.
The school ended up releasing students at 12:30, and they weren't the only ones impacted. In Beaverton, Raleigh Park, Bethany, and Vosges elementary schools lost power Wednesday morning too. And at West Sylvan, many parents weren't surprised by the early release.
Yeah, I mean, I got no problem with that. I mean, there's only so much you can do with a school full of a couple hundred kids or 600 kids, whatever it is, with no power. I mean, I'm surprised they made it this far, frankly.
If they're running on backup power, I think the best bet is just to send the students home. I mean, Christmas break is going to be in 3 more days anyhow, so I mean, what's another day or two?
And here at West Sylvan Middle School, school is back on today. It's scheduled to be a normal school day, hopefully a little bit less weird after yesterday. At West Sylvan, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
Turning now to the Tillamook Air Museum, which is closed after the wind peeled back a 150-foot section of the hangar's roof. The museum's director says no one was hurt and the building doesn't appear to be seriously damaged, but still the museum moved all aircraft out of the hangar as a precaution.
Strong winds also tore off chunks of the roof at this medical facility in the Dalles. There were 3 patients inside at the time, but no one was hurt, thankfully. Wasco County has declared a state of emergency because thousands of people in that area rely on the Water's Edge medical facility for treatment. So the facility is going to be closed for an undisclosed or unknown, I should say, amount of time. Health leaders there working to find other sites for some patients, and they're working to reschedule appointments for others.
Just trust that we're doing everything we can to relocate our clinics and get them access to care as soon as possible.
Wasco County commissioners say in addition to this damage, a lot of county roads remain closed because of downed trees and debris.
It's just part of living up here in the woods. You just kind of have to deal with stuff like this sometimes.
Up there in the woods, in the Cascades, down power lines, shutting down a section of Highway 26 on the way to Mount Hood for hours yesterday.
Cleanup and repair efforts are ongoing, though the roadway has since reopened. Power outages, though, are another story here. Residents in and around Welch's lined up at a gas station to grab extra fuel for generators. Now we spoke with the owner of one local restaurant who says a tree came through the ceiling.
It kind of happens every winter. We get a lot of wind through this corridor and we get a lot of trees down, and that's part of living in a forest is you have a lot of trees fall on your stuff.
Important note here, if you are planning to hit the roads this time of year, always check tripcheck.com for any closures or detours before you head out.
All right, ready or not, Chris McGinnis, here we come. You have the latest on traffic out there this morning.
Well, there you go. Let's take you back up to Government Camp. And while we show you the snow here that's falling pretty hard up at about 4,000 feet, Rod's point earlier is that the snow levels will climb during the day. But just know this, that chains and traction tires are required up there right now. And while that might seem obvious, just realize that if you go up there unprepared and you need to get help, you cause a crash, could be cited for not having proper equipment. So again, if you don't have the chains or traction tires, probably best, it's the law not to go up there. All right, let's go back to the freeway drive. It's just lots of road spray out there, a slow commute over on the west side. Here's the drive through Tualatin on I-5 northbound. It is a slow slog in the rain, and the drive through North Portland, not much better either. Your northbound I-5 drive right now from Wilsonville is about 35 minutes. It's about a 35-minute ride to get you in from Hillsborough. And at last check, just shy of 30 now to get you in from Vancouver. The line up there starts right around the interstate bridge. Drew?
All right, thank you, Chris. New overnight, police in Gresham investigating after a shooting. So investigators here say that just before 9 o'clock last night, a person was hurt inside a home on Southwest 32nd Terrace and Emerald Avenue. Police have not arrested anyone, though, as officers are still working to learn more about what led up to this shooting.
Police in North Portland arrested a man they say threatened a woman on a TriMet bus with a gun. That incident sparked a more than 3-hour search Wednesday, centered on Rosa Parks between Holman and Maryland. Authorities say the suspect, 18-year-old Michael Sherman, left the bus and got on a MAX train. Transit police say he jumped off the stop train, ran down Rosa Parks and into a backyard after hopping a fence. That's when police issued a shelter in place. Authorities say they eventually arrested him in the garage of a vacant home.
The ER is, I think, the direct barometer of how a community is doing. And I'll be frank when I say that our ER is bursting at the seams.
That's a message from the doctor in charge of the emergency room at OHSU.
Now, there is an expansion project underway at OHSU to add 17 emergency room beds, but that project won't be completed until early 2028. Right now, the emergency room there has just 31 beds for adults and 10 for kids. So because of that, they say if you're on the fence about going to the ER, you should definitely consider going to an urgent care instead or doing a virtual visit.
John's Marketplace, known for its large selection of beer, wine, and ciders, is set to close its Beaverton location at the end of the year. The company says it's due to economic pressures, changes in craft beer distribution, and low foot traffic. The owner says its other locations in Portland will remain open and employees will have the option to transfer.
Quick break time here in the Sunrise Show, but when we come back, we'll take you up to Mount Hood and Government Camp, where Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson has been all morning long. That's not Corey doing the heavy lifting of the snow there. But Corey is on the scene talking about the snow and road conditions for anyone who's trying to make it over the mountain passes this morning.
Hey, you know how we do it. Our team is always testing tons of products. We get rid of the rejects, only show you the best ones, and that's why I want to show you this thing today. It's the Tire Hero Portable Tire Inflator. Let me shut this off for a second. Literally true story, 2 weeks ago, I got stuck on the side of the road, glass in the tire. I barely made it to the gas station. Almost cost me hundreds of dollars to tow. So you need one of these anyway. The reason I think this is one of the best on the market is for this reason. Come on, and let me show you. So let's say you don't know the PSI of your car, you don't know what it's supposed to be, or if you want to inflate a ball, it does it for you. So you see the little car icon right there? You can flip through these. Okay, I want to do my car. No, I want to do my motorcycle, little motorcycle icon. I want to do my bicycle tire, or I want to do a soccer ball or an exercise ball. I just blew these up. The other cool thing about this is this. Come on and look at this. It's got the USB adapters here. It acts as a portable battery charger, so you can charge your tablet, you can charge your phone. It also comes with all these different nozzles for kind of anything you would have. It's small enough to literally, I mean, it's a pretty packed glove compartment, right? Look at that. It still fits. Nice and easy. Got a great deal for you on this today. And by the way, you want one of these anyway. You want this anyway because you can save $60 a year for properly inflated tires. So why wouldn't you? Get this one though, because I think it's the best on the market. $69.99 normally. Got a deal for you today. 20% off down to $55.99. Scan the QR code on the screen right now or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Weather Impact Alert Day here at KGW as we take a live look from our Timberline Lodge Skycam, where we've seen about 8 inches of new snowfall over the last day or so.
So Corey Johnson joins us live from Government Camp this morning. Good morning, Corey.
Good morning, China. Drew, yeah, we're at the rest area at government camp. And over the last few hours we've been here, it's been snowing heavily, but it seems like, I was just talking with photo journalist Eric Patterson, it seems like it's turning into a bit of a rain mix already this morning. And so we also talked with multiple people who are braving the conditions without power. Now, they've been without power since last night, according to some residents that we spoke with. And so it's been making things a little bit difficult this morning. Power is also down here at the rest area. Now, we saw multiple PGE crews make their way in and out this morning, but it doesn't appear that there's been any change to the situation just yet. And we've also seen multiple snow trucks make passes at the roadway this morning. Right now, the snow definitely measurable. Drivers taking their time to give you just some insight into how fast the snow has risen over the last few hours. This is a pen that we stuck in the snow. It's getting so cold, my words are freezing. We stuck it in the snow at 7 a.m. and so it's about 5 inches long. You can see only the tip is showing of that pen currently. And so overall, 6 inches are expected at government camp by noon today. While it's not ideal for drivers, of course, right now to be in it, the snow is a welcome sight for skiers, though. This has been a very slow start to the ski season, which typically opens on November 16th. Not only has it disappointed skiers to have to wait so long, but it's also had an impact on business as well. Now, this is a similar story to what we saw 2 years ago with a delayed season due to the lack of snow. Here on the Mountain Pass this morning, one truck driver we spoke with told me he was heading from Portland to Sun River Bend. He decided to can the trip. He said he's turning around because he didn't have chains on his semi, and he said it was unsafe, in his opinion, to make the trip.
It's been fine until we got about 8 miles down the road and it's just slip and ice, and there's like no traffic coming through here. I'd like to make it home tonight, and I don't know if continuing is going to do that, so.
Now, again, as we mentioned, since yesterday, there have been roughly 8 inches of snow here at Timberline that's fallen. We're expecting about 6 inches to fall by noon before it turns to rain. But honestly, as I mentioned, guys, it seems like it's starting to turn into that rain-snow mix already this morning. Back to you.
As Rod Hill predicted, Corey Johnson with the toughest hands in the snow reporting business, going without the gloves all morning long. Thank you, Corey, for that update. Corey mentioned it, something you said right from the get-go of the day. It's going to be a rainy situation up there eventually.
Yeah, and we mentioned, I think, at the top of the hour that at Timberline, we showed the live camera, and it's warmed a couple degrees there. So that transition apparently underway. That's going to be a slushy, messy transition for travel. By the way, projecting, I'll be surprised if we don't get 2 inches of rain today. I really will.
I will be too.
This rain doesn't break up to after midnight. If you're wondering, the greatest rain in a calendar date in December at PDX, 2.67. December 7, 2015, wow. 24-hour period, which could go, lap 2 days, 3.22. Well, that was the same event, December 6, 7, 2015. Okay.
2015, you say?
Yeah.
10 years ago, Rod.
That's what I said. Yes, thank you, Mr. Connery, for paying attention. All right.
I'm trying to remember that.
I really think this is going to be interesting to see just how much rain we get, and if we turn in to numerous high water ponding issues across the area this afternoon going into this evening. And remember, when it's raining heavily and you got high water, especially at night when you can't see, it becomes that much more of a hazard or a danger out there. The flood watch in green, all of Western Oregon, Washington, is up through Saturday. Now, this rain shuts off after midnight overnight tonight, but rising river levels could be an issue into Saturday. That's why the flood watch extended. The red up into Newport, south central Oregon coast, high wind warning. All right. These are the rivers currently projected to go above flood stage, in some cases by 3 to 4 feet, mostly expected to crest at this point overnight tonight or tomorrow morning on Friday. Clackamas, Sandy Pudding, South Yamhill, Lackawanna, Siletz, Wilson, Johnson Creek, and Hood River. And there could be rivers added to this list, so just keep yourself updated on that. But that gives you an idea of the scope that the Weather Service, the hydrologists that watch our river levels, are seeing. They really expect a lot of these rivers to pop above flood stage overnight tonight and again going into tomorrow. All right, winds, north coast gusts to 55 later heading to this evening. That warning for the central coast, gusts 6 to 70. Valley, I'm not sure if we have a wind issue or not. We'll definitely be at least blustery 15 to 30 this afternoon into this evening. Maybe there's a period where we get winds gusting to 40 to 45. I'm just not sure, but keep an eye on that. Here's the atmospheric river fetch, just the elongated batch of cloudiness flowing into our area. Here's Futurecast. showing the snow this morning that Corey is saying is starting to transition into kind of a wet mix up on the mountain. Notice how widespread and steady the rain is. It's all rain up to about 7,000 feet later this afternoon. These are heavy rain rates that could be going on. And we talked earlier in the show that Sheldon Cusselman, who's one of the pioneers really for NOAA, an atmospheric river forecast, believes that this atmospheric river is showing alarming signs of 6, 7, 8 hours of moderate to heavy rain rates that could really lead to increasing river flooding and also high water spot hazards across the area later today into this evening. Here's tomorrow morning. It's all over, just scattered showers during the day. Modeling gives us 2 inches in Portland, generally speaking, but it could be more than that. Shows about 2.5 inches down in Corvallis. Temperatures out the door, 42 in Portland, 44 in Salem, 52 in Newport right now. 7-day forecast, 57 today. That could be a temperature we hit this evening. Scattered showers, 47 tomorrow. Saturday, mainly dry. Rain picks up a bit on Sunday, and now it's birthday time. All right, our party starts with Nania. Happy birthday to you. Really sweet photo there. Happy birthday. Mason, 16. Athlete out on the water, it looks like. Happy birthday. We've got Cameron, who's 26. Happy birthday to you on this very wet Thursday. It'll be tough to keep the candles going on a birthday cake, you know, especially if the cake's outdoors. There's Rick. Happy birthday to you. Fun picture there. 64. Hope you have a great day, sir. All right, birthdays at KGW.com. We'll celebrate with you. Here's Chris.
Likes exotic birds. All right, let's get you out the door. It's it's just a sog fest out there, and to Rod's point, it's only going to get soggier this afternoon. Let's go ahead and zoom in real quick on North Portland. I-5 up near the Expo Center. The end of the line, as we've mentioned, has made its way across the interstate bridge, but once you get there, from Delta Park the rest of the way down, it is a slow commute. So we're still looking at about 30 minutes bridge to bridge from the interstate to the Fremont. Over the west side, look at the vapor trails coming off the cars there. That's Highway 26 out near Cedar Hills Boulevard. That's no fun. And the trip from Wilsonville at last check now has jumped up a little bit as well. That's up to about 37 minutes now from Wilsonville Road to downtown. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Time to recap some of our top local stories this morning. Strong winds tore off chunks of the roof at this medical facility in the Dalles. Wasco County has declared a state of emergency because thousands of people in that area rely on the Water's Edge Medical Facility for treatment. The facility will stay closed for an unknown amount of time as health leaders work to find other sites for some patients and work to reschedule appointments for others. The Tillamook Air Museum is closed after winds peeled back a 150-foot section of the roof at the hangar there. The museum's director says no one was hurt and the building doesn't appear to be seriously damaged, but the museum still moved all the aircraft out of that hangar just to be safe. Over in Clackamas County, a section of Highway 213 still shut down. This is south of Oregon City by Clackamas Community College because of power lines and trees that fell across the road there. A second longer stretch of 213 near the Fisher's Corner area did reopen earlier this morning.
Flood watch up all the way into Saturday. The steady rain will break up overnight tonight, but rising river levels could be an issue into Saturday. For the remainder of today, the rain rate's expected to be heavier this afternoon into the evening. We do expect hazardous spots with standing water to develop. And then for tomorrow, it's scattered showers as we deal with the aftermath of high water issues.
Something we definitely have not said much so far this season. Chains and traction tires required on Mount Hood, at least this morning, until those snow levels come up. So just be aware of that. If you have to travel that direction and you get stuck and you don't have the devices, the chains or the tires, you get a citation. So just know that. All right, back down low, we are wet and slow, and your freeway drive times reflect that. 30 minutes gets you from bridge to bridge from the interstate to the Fremont. Over on the west side, the inbound Sunset still 30 from Hillsborough to downtown.
Chris McGinnis giving you traffic updates and trying to save you money. Avoid those tickets. All right, hey, quickly before we wrap up today's show, a reminder about some of the school districts we know are closed today because of weather. Molalla River School District, Vernonia School District, on the coast, Lincoln County School District, all of those closed today, full closures. We'd also know of some delays in the Neocani School District. Bottom line, if you want to stay up to date, you can check out kgw.com/closings. So there you go. All right, Thursday edition of the Sunrise Show, wrapping it up. We're done with the work week. We've got a lot coming your way tomorrow morning. It's actually the last time that the four of us will ever broadcast as a team.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because China's off all next week. So next
I'm
week,
off all next week.
And Chris is off all
We're
next
holding
week.
down the fort, and then Mr. Drew is.
Yep. Next week will be my last week on the show. So tomorrow we celebrate as a team. We celebrate together.
Drinks on Drew. He's got the new big paycheck. He can afford it.
Wow.
Yeah,
right?
dinner.
I saw none of that coming.
Dinner and drinks.
I thought you bought the guy going away the drinks.
Oh, you can afford it now.
Okay. All right. I'm not as excited about tomorrow now. But we will see you tomorrow nonetheless, right here on The Sunrise Show.